They are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. Here again, the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is shame for women to speak in the church. Have mercy. Have mercy. How many churches have women silent? Because silence to me means you don't make announcements, you don't sing in the choir, you don't teach the children, you don't teach the women, you don't teach anybody. So women don't supposed to teach men? Well, I wonder what was Priscilla and Aquila doing? I wonder. Let your women keep silence and save their questions until they get home and ask their husbands and learn at home. Look, Paul in the same letter earlier said he acknowledged that women could pray and prophesy in the church. Paul actually affirms women's role as praying and prophesying. So you see, he isn't forbidding women not to speak and to keep silence and to make announcements and to teach or preach. Paul, being a Jew, was well acquainted with the Jewish system of the home. So he's given advice regarding to conduct and communication between a husband and a wife. Paul knew that culture had deprived women of education. The Jewish boys could be educated, but women were not educated. And I take this in the positive. Paul is saying to Timothy, what you do is teach your husbands that when they get home, teach their wives so that they become more educated, more intellectual, and more advanced. Apostle Paul, let me cover this. Let me go. I've been a radio preacher for 36 years. Philippians 4:31, Paul said, help those women that labor with me in the gospel. That labor. To me, that's preaching. God's high call for women denotes a holy call. For you see your calling, brethren, now that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty men, not many noble are called. But let, 1 Corinthians 7:20, every man abide in the same calling wherein ye are called. And I can stop and break down on demand. My dear colleague has already done it. But men and women who qualify themselves well for their calling never fail. Thomas Jefferson said this. So, time spent preparing yourself is never lost. Study to be approved. No study, you're ashamed. Wow. 5 minutes? There are losers in every game. There are losers in every game. Women, I want you to know we are not losers. I want you to know you have a place in ministry. We are to break societal norms and expectations. T.F. Kennedy said that the ministry is always a symphony and not a solo. So we want to remember that Jesus died for people. Sons and daughters are to prophesy. There's something I really got to get to. Please. Women, we have to know our gifts. I wish that I had more time. We must know our gifts. We must not be all over the place. The word gifts come from the word charismata, plural, and charisma. God has given us gifts and we must use them to His glory. The gifts are not motivated by us, they're motivated by God. This is what I wanted to say. You are no second-class citizen. I wish I had time with that. Lord have mercy. Okay. But let me say this. On my last filling in office is one thing, and my gender is another. For example, an airplane pilot is a pilot. An ambassador to the United Nations is an ambassador. A state senator is a senator. And a mayor of a city is a mayor. I remember my last trip to Egypt. All of my 22 people that were riding with me that helped to make the 104 had got on the plane put the bags down, cameras down, relaxed. My husband was half asleep. All of a sudden we heard a voice from the cockpit. And it said, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot, Dr. Nataraza. Relax, we're second in line for takeoff." She said, "The flight attendants, please take your seats. As soon as we are airborne, I'll get back to you." I could hardly retain myself. All of us were shocked. My husband looked at me and said, "Who did she say was flying this 747? I said, "Dr. Nataraza." A woman. My husband said, "You're kidding." But you see, the first thought that crossed my husband's mind was, flying a 747? That's a man job. Oh, that woman is out of place. May I say to you, I didn't get to the bishop thing, I wanted to so bad, but listen, your gender has nothing to do with your office. Whom God calls, he qualifies. In Christ, I said Christ, not the name of your church, Christ. There's neither male nor female, bond nor free. We are all one in Christ Jesus.
Come on, put your hands together and give God a praise. This is getting interesting.